Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Eye on Port. This program is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, Goal PLC, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. This program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Now, this week we are taking a look at modernization and reforms in customs processes, and we're taking a perspective of a former Commissioner of Customs in the person of Alhaji Iddrisu, Iddisah Seidu. But before we bring you this particular discussion, Alhaji Seidu is barring out of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, and the pull-out ceremony was held for him in the past week. Let's take a listen. A dignified pull-out ceremony has been held at the Customs headquarters in Accra to honor the outgoing Commissioner of Customs, Alhaji Iddrisu Iddisah Seidu. The event was attended by stakeholders in the port and shipping industry and other security services. Alhaji Seidu, who served over 3 decades in customs, was lauded for his exemplary leadership, dedication and commitment to the service. Alhaji Seidu expressed his gratitude to his colleagues and staff for their unwavering support throughout his tenure.
Together we have modernized our custom procedures, leveraging on technology to enhance transparency and streamline operations, from the purely manual processes to the ASCUDA, GCNet, and now the ICOMS era.
The Commissioner General of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Julie Esiam, praised Alhaji Seidu's visionary leadership and expressed confidence that his legacy will inspire future generations of customs officers.
Commissioner Seidu has served our country with unwavering commitment and integrity, rising through the ranks to become a beacon of excellence within the Customs Division.
The incoming Commissioner of Customs, Ziblim Bawa Ayorogo, emphasized his commitment to uphold a higher standard of professionalism as he takes over.
I want to emphasize my unwavering commitment to upholding the highest standard of professionalism, transparency, and accountability.
The Deputy Minister of Finance, Stephen Amoah, praised the outgoing Commissioner for being a steadfast guardian of Ghana's borders and fiscal interests.
These advancements not only bolstered our security apparatus against threats like terrorism, trafficking, and intellectual property crimes, but also played a pivotal role in facilitating legitimate trade, travel, and economic growth.
Away from that, we are fortunate to have Alhaji Seidu join us in the studio to discuss the customs modernization and reforms from his perspective, or during his tenure, what he was able to achieve with these reforms. Let's take a listen to the following discussions.
Reforms in customs, like any other big organization, is always necessary. Because for customs, over my 30 years and over, we had gone through a whole lot of reforms from the manual. First, we were doing everything manually. There were different papers for every regime that you are clearing the goods, and even they had different colors. And we move on to semi-automation. That was the ASCUDA days.
Okay.
Then we moved to full automation under the GCNet, and now we have come to ICOMS. And even in ICOMS, there are so many phases of it that we had implemented over the period. And all are part of, and apart from that, we had other introductions of measures that aims to modernize and simplify procedures for clearing goods. Because the volumes of trade continue to increase, the dynamics of international trade continues to change, and also challenges, people take advantage of international trade to also do their own things. So enforcement measures also we have to introduce new measures to address all these challenges.
Okay, so you've taken us through the reforms, the various reforms. At every stage of these reforms, were there challenges? And if there were, what were these challenges? And how are you able to rally everyone on board to be able to successfully implement these particular reforms?
There are always challenges. When you are moving from one sphere to another, there will be internal resistance. Stakeholders may not understand, and there will be, resistance from there. And you also need knowledge. So you need to look at stakeholder engagement, a lot of education, a lot of training, and let every stakeholder knows what is at stake for the benefit of that stakeholder. So it was, we had to engage all the stakeholders the borders, make sure that they take part and they understand what they stand to gain individually and as a whole from those innovations.
Talking about stakeholder support, what strategies did you employ to build the stakeholder support and also engagement among the trade community and other government agencies? Because they also play key roles in these reforms.
Yeah, for cross-border trade, there are a lot of stakeholders. Some are government agencies, some are private agencies, and some are even international agencies. So when you want to make any move to introduce something new, you have to identify all the stakeholders, get their involvement, especially those who are important. Some are very important and you must get their involvement, otherwise the thing will not go on. Some need to be informed. Even some need to be trained, including, those who are going to handle the change. And that is what that is the first method we always use, to identify the stakeholders, make sure that both governmental, private, and international, and make sure that we engage all of them. And we have training, and we can then roll it out in phases. Because when you want to roll out something at once, certain times, apart from the resistance, the ignorance can create a blockage for it. So these are some of the methods we use in all the new innovations that we brought into customs.
Commissioner, how then do you also measure the success of the customs modernization initiatives?
Yeah, anytime you are bringing an initiative, your aim is to make sure that you achieve the three main goals. For instance, in customs, our three main goals is first and foremost to facilitate cross-border trade. Secondly, we aim at raising revenue for the government. And thirdly, we aim at providing security at the borders.
Yeah.
So all this, you can't do it alone. You have a lot of very important stakeholders, and you need to make sure that what you are introducing addresses this. Because if you want to facilitate trade, you must be aware that while you are facilitating legitimate trade, there are other illegitimate components of it that you must ensure by making sure that everybody complies. And you need to take that into consideration. Duty payment, yes, a lot of people don't understand. But when you engage them and explain and make it easy for them to pay, and even reward those who pay, who comply, you will see that you will get acceptance of the reforms that you are bringing. And we have come out of all those kind of things in all the reforms that we have introduced. One
major reform was the paperless port process, which moved our clearance system from the manual to electronic.
Yes.
How have we achieved the objective for which this policy was rolled out?
To a very large extent, it was one of the measures that ensured that, you don't need to spend so much time physically to be around to clear goods. The paperless, project was part of the single window project, where all agencies engage and are brought under one platform through the use of technology. And you don't need to bring a paper or to go. Everybody can present his part of the document that is needed for the clearing process. He can submit it online, and it makes it easy for it to be processed, and the goods are released on time. So it has been largely a successful thing. Of course, when it came, it also definitely you also start seeing certain challenges.
Very well.
Yeah.
What were some of the most significant reforms you implemented, and how have they improved customs operations and trade facilitation?
Yeah. For instance, we introduced what we call the authorized economic operators.
Okay.
It is a reward system where you use, risk models to identify those who have been complying. When they are clearing their goods, they comply effectively.
Okay.
So you identify them and make sure that anytime their goods come in, you simplify things for them to go. And then even if you have something to look at, you can use the post-clearance audit when they have cleared it in, look at them. And it is something that is a reward to those who comply. At the same time, it doesn't mean that he will get it forever. If he continues to comply, he will get it. Those who are not complying and begin to comply may also come in. And those who were complying and had it, and they are no more complying over a period of time, will be demoted out of it.
Yeah.
It is one of the reforms that we implemented. And, people started, traders and individuals who want to benefit from it started complying and making sure that they go according to the procedures that have been identified. So it's one of the a very important reforms that we implemented. We also tried to break down, the Customs Technical Service Center does classifications and valuations on all goods cleared from all the ports. So when we introduce it, we realize that yes, it makes sure that compliance was perfect. It made sure that facilitation was done. But some of the smaller, especially the land borders, started complaining that there are this delay because they are clearing in smaller, quantities. And sometimes we pay attention to the larger goods than them. So we decided to make sure that we decentralize it under the control of the technical center, but we trained officers at the various districts so that they can be doing their own, they can be valuing and classifying goods coming from their side under the supervision of the center in Accra. Yeah. And that we trained officers, we delegated some of the duties to them, and it has also helped in facilitating the easy clearance of goods at those places. We had also introduced what we call a central monitoring system, where electronically, we have these scanners, and then we analyze the images of the scans. We also at the Tema port. Now we have moving it, the monitoring and of the scanners to headquarters.
Okay.
And not only the scanners, we are also monitoring not only Tema, the airport, and the exit points at the lands. Okay. So the officers sit there, get the images, analyze it in real time, and they can easily, send information if something is found, not to be in line. And that, enhances enforcement, compliance. Because sometimes when you leave everything at the same place, the tendency of people seeing each other and compromising is greater.
So we wish Alhaji Seidu well in his next endeavor. Iron Port returns after this break.
Ohima, what are taking number first? By you. You have to say take the number give me.
Guys, no, I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I come.
Shut up!
Mame, feel me can't number what? Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Ron 95.
Fill up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for mommy.
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Goyle, good energy.
Goyle is good energy. Electricity. Then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Tell God, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifu, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor,
I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance
for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back from the break. Now, news and activities happening within the port and maritime industry next. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has commissioned 4 new marine crafts to help strengthen the security and efficiency of the port of Tema and Takoradi. The 4 marine crafts, made up of 2 pilot boats and 2 patrol boats, will serve the vital role in transporting maritime pilots between the shore and inbound and outbound ships, their piloting, and enhance the port's ISPS compliance and security within the anchorage respectively. The 4 boats were christened after former directors and other senior management staff of GPHA who exhibited exemplary character and contributed to the development of the port and shipping industry in Ghana. They are the late Captain Edmond Deriziem, a former harbour master, the late Kumi Iddisah, former general manager at the Tema Fishing Harbour, Captain Joseph Erekwansa, a former director of the port of Takoradi, and Jacob Kwabla-Adoko, a former director of the port of Tema. The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Achagwe-Luguje, gave the honorees ample praise for their fortitude and commitment to duty during their tenure of office and thanked them for their services rendered. He said the multi-functionality of the pilot launches will certainly speed up vessel handling and enable tandem activities that will provide significant time and cost savings for vessels.
This whole project of equipping our ports is within our vision to position our ports as the leading ports in West and Central Africa. And by so doing, we are not only investing in infrastructure to expand our 2 ports and the process of building our 3rd port in Keita, but also to equip the marine front.
The board chairman of GPHA, Isaac Osei, reaffirmed the authority's commitment to the sustainable development and prosperity of the industry.
Let us continue to work together across government agencies, private sector stakeholders, and international partners to ensure that our corridor remains safe, secure, and fit for business for generations to come.
A Deputy Minister of Transport, Frederick Obeng-Adom, said the latest investment by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority will serve as a catalyst towards attracting a high sense of confidence from clients, especially the shipping lines.
I am convinced that this latest investment by the Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, plus the recent procurement of the new tugboats, will serve as a catalyst towards attracting a high sense of confidence from clients, especially the shipping lines.
The honorees and their representatives took turns to thank management and staff of GPHA for immortalizing their contribution to the growth of the authority.
The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Julie Esiam, has entreated personnel of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to rally behind the new Commissioner of Customs, Ziblim Ayerogo, to rake in the needed revenue for the state. Julie Esiam made this call when she led some senior officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Customs Division to introduce the new Commissioner of Customs to personnel at the Tema collection. She entreated the officials to accord the new Commissioner all the support he needs so as to collect the required revenue due the state.
So this is the family that you've come to meet. We are one family at GRA. These men and women will always be behind you, and this is GRA.
Ziblim Ayerogo advised personnel to be professional in the discharge of their duties.
Work hard. Don't be intimidated. Be professional. And together, the day of leaving, the story will be told.
The Commissioner General of GRA and her team paid a working visit to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, where they were received by the Director General of GPHA, Michael Luguje. The visit was to introduce the new Commissioner to the Port Authority and solicit their support for the new Customs boss.
I am confident from the week that I have collaborated and I have enjoyed conversations with our new member that you have a very, very reliable partner to collaborate with.
The General Manager for Marketing and Corporate Affairs of GPHA, Esther Jebidonko, congratulated Julie Esiam for her appointment as Commissioner General of GRA and entreated her to address the long-standing issue of VAT on transit.
I will just use the opportunity to remind the Commissioner General that we are hoping that during her tenure, the VAT on transit issue will be totally dealt with.
The Director General of GPHA said his outfit will work to strengthen the collaboration and partnership between GPHA and the Ghana Revenue Authority.
We have a joint responsibility to ensure that whatever leakage opportunities are there that we are aware of, we make an effort to prevent that. So, good luck. Thank you. And you're always welcome. If there are any questions you want clarifications on, we are ready to help you understand.
The new commissioner was optimistic that with the support of management of GPHA, the revenue due the state will be collected at the port. The GRA delegation also visited Meridian Port Services, where they engaged management to introduce the new Commissioner of Customs and also solicit their support in the discharge of his duties.
Rest assured that we will 100% collaborate with the new Commissioner.
The touristic economic potential, besides fishing, of the new Elmina fishing harbour was made a reality on Thursday, 18th April 2024 by Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority progressive decision that resulted in a successful maiden cruise vessel call by SH Vega cruise ship. The remarkable 113-meter-long cruise vessel disembarked 115 passengers by Zodiac boats into the Elmina fishing harbour. The acting director of the Port of Takoradi, Peter Amobediaku, whose purview includes Elmina Fishing Harbour, spoke about the significance of this successful maiden cruise vessel call at the Elmina Fishing Harbour.
This also positions the port, which was initially built to focus on facilitation of fish activities, it has given it a dual purpose now, that now we can use the Elmina Fishing Harbour also to attract tourists also into Ghana.
The Ghana Port and Harbours Authority Acting Director of Port of Takoradi was full of commendation for state agencies and stakeholders whose positive collaboration contributed to the success of the historic maiden cruise vessel call at the Elmina Fishing Harbour. The Municipal Chief Executive of Comenza, Edina, Eguafo and Ibirem promised to create the conducive environment needed to encourage and sustain subsequent cruise vessel calls at Elmina.
This is the big gift that we received from the GPHA. And looking at the local economy itself, and looking at the Elmina being a touristic city.
The Harbour Master of the Port of Takoradi, Captain Daniel Korte, touched on the planning and preparations that made the event a success.
All national agencies that you think are connected to inward and exit terminals of the country were brought together. We have been deliberating for more than about 3 months now just to make today a success.
The Elmina Fishing Harbour Manager, Mohammed Obusu, spoke about the historic occasion in his operational domain.
Coming up next, we have some international port and maritime news.
The World Shipping Council, the united voice of linear shipping, has called on the European Union to design policy frameworks that facilitate the essential role of shipping in a globally connected economy and to forge the path to net zero shipping by 2050 in partnership with the industry. Linear shipping is leading the maritime sector's efforts to decarbonize, with nearly 60% of new vessels to be delivered before 2030, designed to run on the greenest marine fuels.
We have the phrase of the day next.
Merchant haulage service refers to the service of coordinating third-party logistics services on behalf of the customer. This service is applied based upon the customer's request for the carrier to coordinate inland haulage on a merchant haulage bill of lading.
Now, schedules of vessels in the port, those at Takoradi and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates you need to know to clear your goods from the port next. Up next, your comments.
Yahaya Kota from Kaswa says, tell Commissioner to keep up the good work he's doing for Mother Ghana. He is really a hard worker. Ikuya Blackie from Tema 2023 says, Commissioner's contributions had a great impact on safety, security, and the prosperity of our nation.
So this is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Eye on Port. Thank you for watching and thanks to the entire crew. Join us same time next week.